Lee Sin has been one of the best junglers in the game since Riot decided to try and help him out by buffing him, and then buffing Gore Drinker as well as Shojin. So, as he unleashes upon the Raptors, we are against the Graves with an early ward over there. Let's have a look to see if this 60% win rate build with a Shojin, with a Gore Drinker, is something that appeals better than the de facto Gore Drinker, Black Cleaver, Sterix, Gauge kind of technology. Obviously, you can look at the data and you can say, right, win rates, but you got to see it in action and understand the different level spikes and item spikes that come with that decision. So, let's see what this Grandmaster Korean Savant Lee Sin can do. We have 2,000 years against the Hamster. We have 200 years against the old original 200 years, actually two of them. Senna can be considered such, but Callista, yeah, we all know the story of Callista, don't we? So, Lee Sin goes Raptors solo into Red Krugs as we do. Whoa, they're all in as expected from the Callista. In Ashe Aphelios, it is a Hail of Blades Ashe, but we can definitely abuse that. We have the heal burn, the exhaust burn, and Lee Sin's watching this, he's biting at the opportunity. We ping this, don't even need to see it, we ping it. We know that Graves is going to be crossing over at this 2-minute 30 mark. He isn't the quickest red side quadrant sequencer, is Graves, which means you can do things about it. Now you look at it, you're like, wait, you guys had this under control, but it's a center lane, so you know. And Lee Sin shows up here. Can we do a little bit of a cheeky flash? Which we do go for. Q hits, auto attack to finish off. Q, remember, has that missing HP component. That's why we like to try and hold that towards the end. Graves rotates over perfectly, and I think this is something where a lot of Lee Sin players don't really... There you go. One more Q. Another auto attack to finish. We're fully stacked with the Conqueror as well, so we're getting a little bit of healing. We'll actually look at the healing in a second. We do have Q up. We're trying to... do we have the safeguard? Control ward from the center. We do hit that one Q. We go back and get another E. And yeah, so when people think, well, Lee Sin 49, 48% win rate, you know... If you want help implementing this information into your own game, I have a free jungle improvement resource as well as a dedicated program where we have jungle video courses, jungle coaching VOD libraries, weekly free video content seen nowhere else, as well as Q&As and patch note rundowns, as well as a private jungle Discord. And if there's one thing I'm good at, it's converting junglers to gold, to emerald, to diamond, to master plus. If you want to climb faster than anyone you know, jungle diff every game you play, click the link below or head to virkayu.gg. You really agree with that. So let's just go back quickly because I want to show you the Graves here. The Graves is already moving down, right? Because he sees this straight away. It's obvious. You finish the quadrant here, you look at the lane stage, you're like, oh, Lee Sin started solo Raptors 99%. I anticipate him going to be here. So either I'm being invaded or he's ganking the bottom lane. Graves is already moving down. And that's just high-level jungling for you. And obviously the Lee Sin here has the ward hub with the W and the placing the totem. Sorry, brain freeze there. I didn't have ice cream or anything. It's just, you know, it's almost 2024 and I realize we're entering the mid-decade. So while you process that, we're going to go onto the Ashe here. We're going to hit that E for that slow and obviously, boom, Q finish, right? So huge turnaround from the Lee Sin going in and out with his Qs, in and out with his ward hubs, having that lifesteal, having the slow, having the shield. 6 abilities in one. Well, I mean, Q's kind of one fused ability. Definitely the W and the E are the things that people don't use properly. For example, most people will flash E, right? You will go in here and you will do the flash E and you're like, I get to send out that shockwave and, you know, if I recast it, I get to slow people. Decaying slow, obviously. That's the thing. You got to remember that these slows decay, right, over 4 seconds. But the idea is you don't just have to flash E, you can E flash, right? Much like Rengar, instead of flash E-ing, you can E flash. So do understand that those animation cancels are important, but not required in order for you to succeed on Lee Sin and basically make him viable, right? Like, you don't need to, it's a myth that you need to play like Owner or Broxa to pop off on this champion. You don't need to play it that smoothly. You just need to understand the base. Like, can you ward hop kick? Can you even just flash kick insect? Like, those basic little things are good, but adding in an E-flash mechanic, especially on the recast, right? Because obviously, remember, it's the recast that gets the slow, right? So initially, it's just mega shockwave damage. Now, back to the jungling. We're looking at this over here. We have a Graves who we know, all right? And even if we don't see anything, like even if we see nothing from the Graves here, like that's the most important thing here. Because Graves goes into the river. We have the Callista eyeball probe of death. But you know straight up that the Graves is going to be going to the bottom side anyway, right? Because the guy does red side quadrant counter ganks and dies. You got a triple, you're swished up, maxed, rich billionaire. You go back to base, you got your Iron Spike whip plus a longsword, right? At this stage, you have to go topside because, you know, this is spawning at your 355 4-minute marker, which is great, but you did red before Krugs. So your Krugs aren't going to spawn right after the Raptors. and you know Lee Sin, Graves is going to be on that bottom side, and you've got all these top side camps, plus the RNG scuttle, plus the potential to maybe dive your top lane, or, you know, gank the Twisted Fate, and you know the Graves' camps will respawn at a regular cadence, you know, your 423-ish, 420 Krugs, your 435, 440 Raptors, and sure, Graves might handshake it with you, but as long as you are seeing what's going on, right, and as long as everyone understands what's going on, then you should be okay. Because the Graves, for example, is walking around, but we see that the Scuttle Crab is dead. He's pinging off the Wolf camp here. We ignore the Scuttle. We don't waste time. We know that Graves is going to go ahead and do our Raptor, so we'll just do his Krugs, right? That's easy. Now, because Graves does this first into this, he will get the benefit of these Krugs, which you saw just spawned. So we should be pinging off as we hit the Q. Whoa, we get W'd, but it doesn't really matter. We'll safeguard out with a shield, and we survive. Graves decides not to do the Krugs, go straight for the gank level 2 Senna. Kallista's like, can I do things, please? Can this be 2016 again? But for some reason, the Ashe is tanking the turret instead of the Ashe tanking the turret without taking damage. Kallista's going to get a double. Ooh, she does get a double here. And the TP is committed by Kennen. We go off and finish those Krugs. And here we go. I do have sums, Moon Guy. Moon Guy don't got no sums, so Moon Guy dies. The play of the Lee Sin here forces the hand of the Graves, but you maybe don't necessarily want to do that. Like, Kallista's a tough one to do that against. As a Zyre player, I love it when people do this to me, and if I'm level 3, I guarantee get at least 1, maybe 2 back. Good counter jungling leads to great ganking angles here, as you can see, beautifully done. And now just to cover the next stage of things, we obviously have that Ward Hop, the Safeguard, we know that, but Iron Will, that second bit, grants you that lifesteal, right? So gaining lifesteal and spell vamp for 4 seconds is crucial in these fights. So if you don't necessarily need the Ward Hop, but you need to survive, you've got that recast as well, okay? So just remember to use that lifesteal component. That's obviously a big part of the kit, but I feel like people don't always think about that, right? Like, E, okay, Shockwave, oh, but the recast is a slow. W, Safeguard, oh, but the recast gives me lifesteal and spell vamp. Like, these things, just little things to be aware of. Which, let's be honest here, most people and most champions don't read. Like, there's all these subtle subtexts to abilities that no one really worries about. So Graves now comes out of base, all right, and decides to outside in rule the Krugs, which means to take the furthest thing from his jungle while he can and fall back to his land of sadness, because that's what it is at this point, because he's, you know, well, he's up, you know, it's not so bad actually. But still, I'd be a little concerned that the Lee Sin has the same gold as me. As the Graves, you know, the Lee Sin isn't an early game only jungler now. And Lee Sin kind of thinks from his perspective, okay, like I've seen the Graves, he's probably taking my stuff. Now Graves has this problem where he takes the Krugs and falls back, but now do you wait for Lee Sin? Does like Lee Sin come bottom lane immediately? Of course he does, right? Senna hits a W, that's beautifully done. That's a swish kill. We have the Anti-Spike Whip. We're going to Ward Hop just to get into the bush there with the Ashe, and we'll let Kalista take that one, because you don't take everything as Lee Sin. I mean, you kind of do, but, oh, excuse me. In the meantime, there's a Twisted Fate ulting in. I'm looking up at the camera, ready to have a conversation. Twisted Fate's like, can I get in on this? Can I die too, guys? Everyone's dying. I want to die also. And he does. And he does. So, where I have issues, personally, with my champ pool, when I have amazing early games, Lee Sins don't, right? Graves don't. Viego don't. These meta junglers do not. If you can have a beautiful early routine, and it's one of those words that's sounding weird to me today. And you get a triple kill here, and the enemy jungler compromises themselves. You have all the advantage, and you should never lose it, ever lose it, ever, ever, ever. It's all in your control, right? So basically, quadrant, gang, triple kill, outplay, Graves dies, he's going to have to come to the bottom side. Now I'm going to go top side because I got these 3 camps plus Scuttle. I also have his respawn, and as I said, this is diveable. Look for the crashing waves on top lane, guys. Sometimes the gank is just free while you're counter jungling. You don't even have to give your top lane that much attention. Just say, hi, I can dive and help you, and then you do it, and then you take this, and then you take this, and you say, oh, mid lane's gankable from that great angle. Juicy, fresh. Graves overcommits because he feels pressure to do so. Then you come out of base now because you kind of want to shadow the scenario. Graves decides to go do this into this again, and now you're fed, you know? Yeah, the guy is better sequencing than you. So just to showcase while Lee Sin was kind of doing that and we had the discussion, the Graves goes to the top set here. We have this deep ward, which I love from top laners. And while you don't necessarily see anything, that's why it's important to pay attention to the minimap. You see this, right? You see on the minimap? There it is. And you click and look and go, guy did the Scuttle Crab, and my mid laner is shoving in heavily against a Twisted Fate. A lot of you would just go to Wolves thinking, he's going to take my camps. Yeah, but don't think like that. You're fed Lee Sin. Think about map impact. You can farm and dominate as much as you like. Think about map impact. Oh, hello, Lee Sin. He has his R up. He's actually going to flash here for that Q, not hit anything. Now he does have his R. He might try and hit it anyway. Zoe goes over the wall and back into his face. We got the kill, though, so who cares? Anyway, Senna's gone back to the bottom lane. I was kind of hoping Zoe would use her own flash instead. But, hey, she didn't. So, that's fine with us. 6-0-3, we'll take it. Now, if you don't need a base, like say you don't have Gordringa, you just came out of base, and that happens, and the Graves is dead, please be my guest and take some of his Scampi, take some of his Caviar, take something from him that makes him truly miserable. Because Graves is a map control guy. And he's only up 8 CS, 2 camps versus a Lee Sin. And now the gold amount is 500 to 600 in Lee Sin's favor. Which means Graves, at this particular stage, has nothing on the bottom side, because we saw the guy go up here. We saw him take this, so we know that's plus 12 CS. So he has to go back to the top side, right? Which means now we know he might try a little cheeky Herald. So what we will do is just go out of base here, we'll take the Wolves, and we slide into this. One could argue, and I think it might be better to argue, actually, that we go straight for the Herald and we don't kind of coin flip around Wolves for no particular reason. Like, just beeline out of base, straight to this this Herald, because you know that the Graves is going to look to cheese this to try and get some sort of something back. And obviously, a high elo jungler knows, okay, look, Lee Sin's going to do that because he's going to expect me to do it, so I'm just not going to go for it. And it's kind of this, you know, mind-guessing game. I'm just going to do my red set quadra and cut down for the dragon. Now, Lee Sin could decide to be a little bit psychopathic here and say, look, I'm going to go back to my blue and Gromp and then go top lane and inflict maximum pain. Or I can just decide to be that crazy and go across mid lane, gank everybody, and deny the potential dragon. Now, Graves obviously looks at the map and says, I have no idea what these options are. Let's just watch this in full. So I'm just going to keep sequencing. And the nice thing about the Lee Sin is we have those wards bottom side. We have the protection, so we don't need to think, is he on dragon? Should I collapse on it? I'm not always a fan of collapsing on that dragon anyway, right? Like, it's not a thing I want to do. We're waiting for this kick here. We do have kick up now. It just came up, but if we don't have to use it, we won't. We're tanking the turret shots. Oh, woo! Twisted Fate gets kicked. Shield guard. Safeguard, excuse me. Right, there's another Q. And one more auto. Nice little kick to the face. Look at the damage that comes through from Gordringa. That's what I'm saying. Like, do you need Serrated Dirk? Do you need Eclipse? No. Gordringa. The healing here, right? Already, we're at 116 healing, 106 damage. The Conquerors, by the way, because it only gives us to 174 healing. These things add up over time. We go back to base. Now, Graves is like, okay, well, everyone's on the top side. I can go for this dragon, but here's the thing. Zoe saw you. Twisted Fate is TPing in here. Or, yeah, Twisted Fate TPing in. And Zoe throws the lead. And then this is what's horrible about this. So, to just slow down a little bit there. Yes, it can be crazy to say, look, guys, I took Herald. I think Grace is going to go ahead and do this. Can we just gank mid lane, shove this, and collapse? Like, you could drop the Herald here, shove a mid lane, gank it, and then contest and kill everyone on the dragon. Snack that up too. Sometimes that's the right play. It's not a play I always go for because my champions and my philosophy is a little bit more, hey, like, I got this quadrant I can fall back to. Can I dive this and use it here? This is where I think, right? Because I'd really like to make the map asymmetric and bring up the tempo of the game state. Elevate the game state a little bit, if it makes sense. But we have a Callista and a Senna. Senna needs time to scale. She's losing. Again, the Callista is doing fine and well, but, you know, do you want to really punch the map and move the chess pieces around right now? Zoe started off hot, now, you know, died a few times, and we're fed. Do we really want laning phase to end by dropping Herald here? No, we don't. We can definitely save it for a better moment, and obviously here now, look at the damage. That was a thirsting slash, by the way. We hit the Q. Most likely we'll take the Q. We're going to try and hit the shockwave. We don't hit the shockwave. Another Q is up here. Here we go again. Over the plant with him. Another auto attack and another thirsting slash. That's the active of this one. And a ward hub over the wall. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Now we've Twisted Fate in the mid lane here. Everything is up. Q to the minion. Shockwave. One more auto attack. Or no, we just decided to go for this one. I feel like we could have Q'd that, walked over to the minion, ordered it to get it, and then queued back to the raptor bit. Just a thought. Style points, and also more minions. We chuck a Q out, we miss it, so now You look at the map, you're like, okay, Senna's mid lane, Ashe is roaming mid lane, Kalissa's bottom lane with the ADC, Aphelios, I'm here. You know, now let's punch it, right? Let's get these plates. We got 2.5 plates here. It's not going to be enough to kill it. Used to, it isn't anymore. We're going to go for the double kick into the Senna W. That was gloriously done, beautifully done. Zoe finishes that off. We'll just finish off the turret, I think. She dies to the graves again. This guy's just picking off freebies from the Zoe. 6-4-0 over the wall. We see him go down, so we go up, right? We see him go down, we go up. Now, Senna is punching the mid lane, and now we're like, guy, can I just finish off my Raptors? Because you don't want to overcommit here. I feel like the Senna, like, she's pinging, but I don't know what are you pinging? What are we going to do now? I have no kick, right? I'm in the Raptors of the enemy jungle. I can take his Krugs too. You know, can we just roam up and kill the Cassante and take some plates here before 14? Kalissa's just obliterated the moon. You know, like maybe we just ditch this, let them hold this, and gain a time advantage going somewhere else. Because it's the thing. You currently have a crashed wave and the ability to move through this jungle and get to here. They have to first hold this and then trail you, but even then they couldn't because he's low HP. Support sometimes. Irritate me. Lone jungle. I play both, but jungle-only players and support-only players, technically can be some of the most dense. You know, like we obviously, as junglers, when you only play jungle, you understand jungle very, very well. You understand the map, but you don't always understand what laners need or want, right? And like, you don't understand those kinds of things. And supports and laners who don't understand anything about jungle just don't understand map flow and timing and creating these time gaps. And when you understand both, boom, that's when you become truly good. Now, we do actually end up roaming here, right? But a lot of the times I see people do this, and it's already too late. Like, they get a plate, or the turret's low enough that they can finish it, or that they just base and you miss the opportunity. So, not results-based what happened here. But yeah. This is a good game. This is a really good game. Now, we have the juice. Go Drinker into Shojin because we have a big-ass lead, okay? Remember, the spike of items is not only the full completion, but also the components that you're building. And here, it's a lot closer to Black Cleaver than it used to be. Obviously, Black Cleaver is the way it is, but we used to have the BF sword from the Shojin, which was nice, but very pricey. So now we're like, okay, well, you guys can take this. I'm going to Warthog kick Q. You go back and hit the Shockwave, obviously. Use your Iron Spike. I keep saying Iron Spike. You know what I mean? Like the Iron Will. The Iron Will as much as possible in those close quarters. But yeah, beautiful kick into Q. It's amazing how it lines up like that. Those people love it, and Senna gets that kill. We get the assist as well. Shuffle on over to the Scuttle Crab. We'll just do a little bit of Q1, Q2. Iron Spike. I'm gonna beat myself. Thirsting / activation. But yeah, the Shojin here, remember, it reduces the cooldown of your non-ultimate spells, scales with you the AD, right? But it's reduced for immobilizing spells. However, on Lee Sin, let's look at the cooldowns of what we got right now. 3.26, 4.89, 6.52, right? That's just regular haste with everything set up. That's crazy for Q mobility. And that's the problem with, was the problem with Joven and the EQ situation until they kind of nerfed it a little bit. You know, your Q1, Q2, and then you have it up again immediately. It's so quick. Kills a lot of damage here. We'll do a little bit of the safeguard. Kills is ulting onto the moon. She is not. Senna's like, let me just take this turret. Look, I play Senna Zyra in the bottom lane, and I do not enjoy being yeeted by a Kalista, let me tell you that much. It's not a fun time. Dragon's going to be respawning, but now again, there's no point in wasting time farming. Here we can just ward hub over the wall. We'll miss that Q, unfortunately, but now you're just applying pressure. The confidence and the cooldowns of Shojin, 500 HP as well, I feel is just magnificent. I do think Cleaver's a better overall item by default in most games, but when you're snowballing like this, I love seeing it because it's so difficult to deal with, at least with these cooldowns, with this damage, with this much HP, with this gold lead, AD lead, everything. It's just tough. It's almost impossible when he's this fed. And if you lose games from this state, because of one or two things you do wrong, it's on you. Because you should be able to control the game very, very easily from this point onward. That's why I like to see this build still, even though it's obviously, I feel like it's a little forgotten sometimes. It should not be. Gore, Stride, Shojin, they're busted still. They're still broken. It's the League of Fighters, and at least until, 2 more weeks' time, because they should hopefully be nerfed a little bit. You guys have had 3 years of greatness. Get your elo while you can, and work on your closing, because a lot of fighters just don't know how to close properly. See, I like this. rotate top lane here. Let's first deal with the Cassante. All out that direction. So we can decide, do we go for the Cassante or do we go for the Ashe? We Q the minion. There we go. Unfortunate. No smite. Here we go. It's up again. Okay, no. Unfortunate. We'll just do a ward hop kick here. And she flashes the next Q that we have. Zoe shows up. Graves is now being pushed out. You know, I mean, when you can just spam abilities on a very strong champion, feels a little unfair. But yeah. Yeah. Nothing is as unfair as Jax with that. Does anyone... Oh, I hate Jax. I think everyone hates Jax, but yeah. The game has been, let's be honest, a little bit stale for the longest time in terms of the strong champions and the items, and it sucks that we had to wait an extra 2 damn months for preseason. I don't agree with... You know, it was fine. It would be fine if it was a great meta. Like, end of Season 12 was a great meta when they just decided preseason pets, and everyone's like, please no. And we still hate the pets. Really wish they were just gutting them and bringing back the system we had before, but it is what it is. So, we take the Herald, and now, sometimes, enemy teams in this particular situation, as you will know from the Echo game on this channel and the Echo game on the main channel, they sometimes just go chilling. Literally. They want you to do stuff to win, and they want you to tilt into them, you see? But Lee Sin says, look, you're level 12 Cassante, I'm level 12 Lee Sin. I have Gore Drinker as well as Shojin. I can beat you. You have ult up again. We wait for the W, then we go and he all outs us again. We hit that Q. We've got, obviously, the Thirsting Slash. We're hitting our E. We're hitting our slows. We force the flash out. We go back in again. We've missed that E. Safeguard again, and one more Q will do it if necessary, which is an auto attack. Kennen will get the kill there. We do hit that Q. We're going to wait, and decide if we want to take it or not. Instead, we'll safeguard out because Twisted Fate's coming back in, and now we do die and give a shutdown to the Graves, which is unfortunate, but the Hamster tries to go, and he gets absolutely nothing. Senna's like, uh-oh, and he's always like, guys, why'd you die? And I see this from mid lane, it's too much. Callista's over here. She pulls the center out, actually. Beautiful. Didn't even see it because I was looking at the Zoe like, why are you splitting? Yeah. Well, that was crazy. So, throw moment, number 1, and they need a couple more. They do need a couple more. Callista and Senna go ahead and take that dragon, and literally nothing happens for the next 90 seconds. 90 seconds. Now we have Death's Dance, okay? So that should help us in those fights survive a little bit, have some armor against the Graves. That W hits, we hit that Q, so that guy's definitely dead. Definitely dead. 4 points into W at this particular stage, just so you know. Senna's going to go in here. We'll safeguard to her, hit the Q into the Ashe, hit that E. That's a dead Ashe. Really, in this state of fedness, if you're a mobile player, is doomed. You get hit, you die. Zoe, in the meantime, Herald top lane. Thank you, Lee Sin. That's also good to do, right? Drop your Herald top lane. I didn't show because we're just skipping ahead, but drop your Herald in a side lane. Let someone push it up. Go back to the mid lane where there's a fight. You can have force a fight, force them to worry about that, and this Herald will just punch through. Really, really good use of that. So, you know, obviously now you're thinking, well, why didn't you just show it to us? Okay, so here we go. We have Herald. Right, we move on up a little bit. We take the Raptors, obviously. We still have the Herald in the pocket, and we'll clear that one. We'll go over the wall. We'll drop it there with the Zoe split pushing, and that's when he collapsed onto this fight, you see? Because this is really, really good, because you got Cassante bottom lane, you got everyone in the mid lane, and so this can punch up, and the Zoe's got that Lich Bane basically for free, and he's down here, so that's where they got that huge advantage, right? Then they did all the fighting, cool, and then we hit this one, very, very nice. And now we can use that pressure to go to the Baron. That's how you close games out in a smart way with good macro when you have a big as lead. Because you want them to tilt into you, right? Well, if you're Graves, you want the enemy to tilt into you, and as Lee Sin, you know that that's what they want. You know that you're only going to lose this game through your own mistakes and greed. So just relax, right? That lead is almost 10k, well now it's over 10k. You just can hit the Herald, get an inhib, take the Baron, go back to base, finish the next itemization. GA's the play 100% now, obviously because we have this in pocket. So that should delay some of the damage we take, which is obviously very good. We have extra haste, extra armor against the Graves. We'd have no magic resist. In the event that there was more magic, dominant magic, then you could think about doing a more instead, but we're going to close the game out anyway. If you're killing, like say, I don't know, the mid laner was kind of fed. Say the Twisted Fate was actually super fed. I would still build this the same way. And you would make it your goal to kill the Twisted Fate first. He would be the target you're focusing, you're killing, you're dealing with, which means because he's dead, you don't need magic resist, right? And so you can itemize for armor. That's kind of the idea. Who are you fighting? Who is being killed first? And who are you most needing resistances for? Snack that blew up. And in this particular case, the GA is just about the damage from the BF sword, the stopwatch for stasis, in case of a mistake like before, and we can shove to end, hopefully. But They get an Ashe, they get an Aphelios, they do scale, you know, they got the Cassante, Graves eventually comes online always, the guy's still 10.51, he's got 11,800 gold, still 2,000 behind us, but, you know, like, compared to our team, he's ahead of everyone but us, literally. And Kennen only has 9.4k gold, dude is behind. And as I said, as I'm saying that, Kennen's like, yes, 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 Zoe's like, yes, 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 the three of us go mid lane. I don't know why we're necessarily trying to do something here, because if you got a split push, like that, and top wave is crashing, you just need a 0-4-1, right? Like 0 top lane, because that will push anyway, 4 mid lane, and 1 bottom lane. But Kennen is so far behind, he's not really playing any pressure. I would have preferred to take this. This is not one of those cases where I think, don't take it. I think here we take it. I think here you should probably go ahead and snack that up. Because you want that pressure. Because once, that should be just one order, yeah. Once the Kennen's available again, you just want to go goon score bottom lane and really just quickly end. You don't want to waste too much time. There's a Twisted Fate teleport on the bottom side, or that could be Cassandra's Cassante. There we go, because Twisted Fate is, well, Cassandra's flanking us. There's Twisted Fate. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Safeguard. Kennen! Kennen! TP, nice. Ooh, I was worried. I was holding my breath. Like, is the Cassandra actually going to do it? Q into the Twisted Fate. He's got the yellow card active, so be careful here because he will stun you. Hit the Thirsting Slash, get the heal. Ken is going to chase him down, force a flash over the wall. Now, Cassandra is being chased away. Be careful here, Lee Sin. Safeguard back out. Let's go to the Mountain Dragon. We're going to need that, I think. Also, the Mountain Dragon's pretty big. So, you snack that up. Full HP again, just by the way. Casually. Who are we waiting for here? Let's have a look. 3 bottom lane. Cannons come to the top side. We take these camps over here. We're trying to get to 16, but we're not going to do that easily. Everyone should be going to the bottom lane or looking for a collapse into the mid lane at this particular stage. We don't actually have to do much because Zoe kills the Ashe. 14-1-11. I would like some help, and honestly, if someone does that, I'm like, yeah, cool, because now we can win. Should be free win now. Don't really care about this one. This is coming. This is coming. Callista's coming. You're waiting for the Callista, really. Like, you don't want to overcommit here unless they give you something for free, because it is a 4v4, and you do need the Callista. I mean, Cassandra's still 15. We're 15. Graves is 15. You know, no one else on our team is 15, so you got to be very cautious of the fact that they've been eating supers for a little bit. We get W'd in by the Cassandra. We're forced to ward hub out here. Our GA does proc. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's why the GA is huge here. Otherwise, you die. Right? So now you get a second chance at life. Oh, see, now you're thinking, oh my god, another throw, send us out of position. Twisted Fate goes in, we Q too early. E from the Cassante, tries to go in here. Callista gets that kill. Now you're just peeling, right? Now you're just doing Lee Sin peel things. Sit next to Kai back. Wait for your opportunity here. Zoe hits the Drowsy. That's a dead Graves, because we're going to Q that. We're going to ward hop into that E. Hit the second E shockwave. Beautiful kill. Q onto the Ashe. Another Q auto attack, and that's well played. In and out, in and out, in and out. Create your space. Use your GA. You've got that healing from the Death Dance, which is now 1,108. You've got the Gore Drinker, which is a 2,200 healing. Match history is always in the description. I like this build when you have this lead because you can do this to end. You can carry the game at the end with a good fight. Black Cleaver, I still think you're fine, but I don't think you have that mobility. And against the comp like this, with a snowball like this and a top laner like that, you want to have those things. Virkayu GG for even more related to your game specifically to reach your dreams by the end of Season 13. And as always, I'll see you all in the next one.